Yo, what is up, guys? Oscar here with a new video, and this is going to be discussing my Washington football team versus New Orleans Saints post-game reaction. I do want to apologize first and foremost for not putting up a preview and keys to victory. I just had a very hard week because I was studying all week for a huge exam, and I'll discuss that at another time. But that's the reason why I didn't post any, pre-game analysis to this game and all that. So if I'm spewing today, it's because I didn't do a pre-game analysis because of scheduling conflicts. Disclaimer: there may be some more scheduling conflicts these next couple of weeks because I'm actually moving to a new house. So I will try to see if I could post videos on the weekends. Just note that it's going to be hard because I am moving to a new location. So I don't know what the schedule is looking like. I don't know if I'm going to have Wi-Fi in the next coming weeks. So it's not that I'm going MIA. I'm letting you all know that in the case that I go MIA, but we'll figure something out. So let's talk about this game. Taylor Heinnicke, there was good and bad Taylor Heinnicke. Basically, there was, it's basically what we were getting with Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's good Ryan Fitzpatrick and there's bad Ryan Fitzpatrick. And that's what Taylor Heinnicke was today for Washington. There was good Taylor Heinnicke and there was bad Taylor Heinnicke. The play calling was questionable as well. I'll discuss that in the good, the bad, the ugly. Marshon Lattimore, I think, is the first corner to actually shut down Terry McLaurin since Terry McLaurin has been in the league. Because Terry McLaurin he had some catches here and there, but Marshon Lattimore had like 5 or 6 pass breakups when he was matched up against Terry McLaurin. So Marshon Lattimore did get the best out of Terry McLaurin today. Let me see what other things. The defense, the first half, the pass rush was getting there. Jameis Winston did throw a couple of, had an interception. Actually had a few interceptions and also had a fumble, and got sacked a couple of times, but that was all in the first half and parts of the third quarter. But aside from that, was basically chewing up this secondary per usual. So it is what it is there. I don't know what to say. I'm more upset with the play calling today than anything else, and I'll break that down here in the good, the bad, the ugly. So let's go ahead and let's get into the good, the bad, the ugly for this game. The good was Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson was able to get going. He had 2 touchdowns. The good was Chase Young got, sacks. There, Washington actually had a few turnovers. Had a nice interception. I think it was, who was it that got the interception? Oh, Cole Holcomb. Cole Holcomb, I forgot to mention him last week. If I didn't mention him last week, I'll mention him this week. Had a huge interception on the first drive. Got that interception of Jameis Winston, and Washington. What do? They just get a field goal out of it. And I'll discuss play calling here in the the bad and ugly segments. But the good was Antonio Gibson, Cole Holcomb. The defense actually, like I said, in that first half looked pretty, they looked improved. Jack Delrio, it looked like Jack Delrio, turned a page. I'll put the defense in the good category and in the bad and ugly category because, like I said, the pass rush was actually pretty decent. They were actually getting back there, putting heat on Jameis Winston when they needed to. There wasn't any roughing the passer calls on Montez Sweat or Chase Young or anything. So, that was good. The good on the defensive part. Like I said, they were able to get Antonio Gibson going. Taylor Heinnicke did have, a good, decent drives, decent passes, just questionable the question are interceptions. So, I'll put that in the good category. Dustin Hopkins made his kicks. DeAndre Carter had a few big catches today. So, like I said, really good. Really, the offense was solid. The defense, the pass rush was solid today. So I'll put that in the good category. The bad category: play calling, and play calling. Ron Rivera, I don't know what happened today with the way that he did certain things. It was 4th and 10 on the 35-yard line of the Saints, and he decides to go for it, and I don't know what he was trying to dial up. He throws it to Terry McLaurin, and Terry McLaurin was out of bounds. I honestly don't know what to say there. Granted, I understand why he did it. Dustin Hopkins isn't a reliable kicker. It would have been a 53-yard field goal. So I'm not too mad at that. But I am mad at other certain situations where Taylor Heinnicke, had a chance to get downfield and get touchdowns. And then he would just throw to either Terry McLaurin, and Marshon Lattimore was all over Terry McLaurin. So I don't know why he would bother throwing to Terry McLaurin all the time. Marshon Lattimore had a few knocked passes away from Ricky Seals-Jones as well. So, the play calling was questionable there. What other things that I noticed? Jack Delrio, oh my goodness, Jack Delrio. Like I said, I'm bringing this back to the defensive side, the bad and the ugly part of this defensive side. Jameis Winston, the pass rush was getting there. And then, of course, the secondary makes Jameis Winston look good with he had two big passes in that first half, which led to 2 big touchdowns for the Saints. The first one was to Deontay. What's this guy's name? I know his first. It's not Deontay Johnson, but he ends up burning somehow. Landon Collins gets burned. Can we please cut Landon Collins? Can we please either cut or trade him? I don't care much about the trade value at this point. I just don't. It's just, ugh. The trade. Landon Collins is hot garbage. He got burnt on that first touchdown pass to Deontay. What's this guy's name? Man, I'm gonna have to look up the dude's name. I know his first name is Deontay, but it was tough to see that touchdown, because at that point, Washington it was in the lead. They had a 13-7. No. Was it the 13? I think it was either the 13-7 lead or the 3-0 lead, but that was just bad. It was just out of this world bad. Another questionable play call was, it was like what, fourth down. Literally, it was first and 10, because I remember the Washington football team punted it back to the Saints. And the next thing you know, Jameis Winston throws a long bomb to Marquez Callaway, and that's a touchdown too. So it was a Hail Mary at the end of the first half. So really, the secondary was this bad, bad play. The play calls, head scratchers. I don't know what Washington was thinking there, to be honest. So more, let's transition into the ugly. Again, I'm going to transition. The ugly is the secondary, because Jameis Winston, like I said, was looking funky. He was wobbly. He had got strip sacked, got hit a lot. Threw an interception to Cole Holcomb. And then he ends the day with 4 touchdown passes He threw one to, Marquez Callaway, threw one to Deontay. I'm just gonna call him Deontay, even though he went out with injury, but then Alvin Kamara gets a touchdown towards the end to put this game away. So I'll just leave the defense there, and then Taylor Heinnicke. I don't know what the two bad interceptions were. He was just, I don't know what he was. They were very short passes, and they get intercepted. One that could have given Washington the lead in the fourth quarter. It was a long drive too. It was a 14-play drive, and then he throws that interception, and that just kills all the momentum. And then next thing you know, the Saints go down the field, make it a 2-score game, and that pretty much writes this out. Also, the second interception, he was in his own end zone, throws it short again, and that literally gives the Saints another touchdown that, puts it back to a 2-score game. So I really don't know. Again, Taylor Heinnicke, there was good and bad Taylor Heinnicke. He, was able to respond good enough to his mistakes, but not enough. And then, of course, the play calling, because Washington was in the red zone a couple of times, and they come away with either field goals or nothing because of the interceptions. So the play calling was head scratching. I did like, and it was interesting to see that 4th and 10 play call that somehow, I think it was like DeAndre Carter that made the catch or something. DeAndre Carter made that big catch. It was like 27 yards to extend that drive, and then that interception happened on that drive. But still, Ron Rivera, head scratchers. I don't know what to say about Jack Delrio anymore in that secondary. That secondary has been atrocious these first 5 weeks of this game. And, today it proved it with those 2 big touchdowns. If you take away those 2 touchdowns, Jameis Winston would have had a decent game, and Washington could have pulled it out. But it is what it is there. And next week, in the next couple of weeks, Washington has to take on Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers in the next 2 weeks. So I'm not, Washington could be, they're 2-3 now. I think they're going to be 2-5 in 2 weeks. So this one bites. This one bites. Taylor Heinnicke threw 2 interceptions that really cost Washington the game, and then the play calling was head scratching. And then Jack Delrio, the secondary, also was basically the downfall to this game as well. So it is what it is. It's time to move forward, guys. Washington fans. Washington lose it 33-22. I'm going to end this video here because, like I said, I really didn't, it looked like it was a really good game, too. It was a really good game because in the third quarter, it was a very defensive battle. It was very defensive in that third quarter because it was the field position battle. The refs also had some questionable calls. I think J.D. McKissick was being held and the refs didn't call it. And the next thing you know, the refs, I think there was what was it? It was an incredible catch. I think it was Ricky Seals-Jones who made the catch. And he somehow got his foot down in bounds. And the refs were this close to giving it to the Saints. But then they overturned it. So the refs were iffy again, per usual. The refs have been iffy in Washington games the last couple of weeks. And today proved it again. So it is what it is. Washington is 2-3, and they take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs next week, and then they take on Aaron Rodgers. 2 big-time matchups. which I think Washington are going to end up losing, and especially with the way that this defense is playing. You know, Taylor Heinnicke, as long as he can limit or eliminate those turnovers that he had today, we should be fine offensively. But the defense is another question, is another thing, because Jack Delrio, he played a solid game with the pass rush, but that secondary came back to haunt Washington with that big 72-yard bomb in the first half, and then that Hail Mary towards the end, and then to top it all off, it was third down, and all Washington needed was to force a field goal. And then next thing you know, Alvin Kamara chews up the secondary on that, check down, and he scores in for the touchdown to suck the life out of Washington fans in the stands. And here's the thing, it sounded 50-50, but towards the end, Saints fans were loud and they were saying who that. So, Washington fans are still not crowding out the stadium just yet. So, all right, guys, that'll do it for this video. If you're new to my channel, remember I'm trying to get those 100 subscribes by the end of the year. So make sure you hit that sub button if you're new. Until then, guys, keep it real. Keep you guys heads up after a tough loss. Until then, keep it real. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.